Hi everyone, this is Tirza here, Tirza Schaefer, and this is my very first live, and I'm really excited and scared. So if anyone can see me or hear me, can you let me know? That would be great. I hope the technology is all working the way I've planned. So can't see any comments as yet, so I'll just check on my phone for a bit. Excuse me. What's wrong with that now? So. Oh yeah, I can see myself. How wonderful. Can I have some sound? So. Yeah, it's working. Sorry about that, but you know, there's a first time for everything, and I had to get 46 years old to do this the first time. Anyway, let me introduce myself. I'm sure you've read a lot of my posts, and so you have a bit of an idea what I'm all about, but it's always nice to hear it straight face to face, isn't it? So I'm an author, and how I started that was before I could even read or write, I actually told my sister bedtime stories at night, and it was always, I've always had stories in my head, and I've been writing all my life. Ever since I could write, I wrote stories, you know. And I started writing poetry, I guess, round about the time I left school. And I went to London, UK, and lived there for 8 years. I'm originally from Germany. I'm back in Germany now. I returned when I had my son Tajan, and then my daughters Tajani and Tarani followed. They're now 19, 15, and 11. Well, nearly 11. So, yeah. And I'm in Germany, writing and working in English. But it's so much fun. I love connecting to everyone online, and I've made so many wonderful friends here in the cyberspace world. Really, it started with Spiritual Networks. That used to be a spiritual website, and I posted my first poem there, first time in public, and I was so scared. Got really nice feedback, which encouraged me to continue writing and sharing as well. So it developed from there, and I've always had, since childhood really, I've had this dream of, you know, one day becoming a published author and having a book, you know, published. And now I've got 24 and still working on more. So there's more to come. And so I write in different genres. I have a children's book, which is about spirituality, how that works with the energy and everything. Is quite funny. And surprise number one, I will be reading from my books that are on special promotion at the moment throughout the day, evening today. And this is one of them. This children's book is called How Picasso Makes You a Genius. There you go. That's what it looks like. Oh, there. That's what it looks like. Hope you can see that all right. Yeah, conscious creations for children. And the thing is, my daughter Tarini, she was 8 at the time when the inspiration to this book happened. We had a chat, and the way she learns is by laughing and giggling, and then that opens up all the synapses and makes the brain work better. I'm sure anything that's fun, you remember more easily, and you learn, you take in the information more easily, and children especially. So when we study something for school and she asked me to explain something to her, she usually she asks, can you explain that to me? And I try to make some fun and lighten the mood, and make her giggle in between, so to keep that lightness of spirit. So this book is a funny one. It is a really funny one, but I'll tell you about that when we get to it. So the other thing is, I've got a spiritual poetry book, which I'm going to read from as well today. That looks like this and is called My Spirit Song. There. Okay. A spiritual evolution and poetic expression. And the third spiritual book is it's a holiday travelogue, but it also contains time travel, magic, parenting. It's a bit of mix of everything. So it's called A Magical Family Holiday, a trip into the Eifel Mountains. And I'll be reading from that as well. There. So, and then there's going to be 3 adult books I'm going to read from as well. I'm not going to read the 18 plus parts, so don't worry about that. If you're interested, you can read that in the books for yourself. Great fun. But when I read from the children's book, you can let your kids watch that as well if you want. The other ones is probably it's more geared at adults, really, from the subject matter as well. So so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read today from my romantic poetry, which is called Love Expressed. There, love, romance, and sensuality in poetic expression. Then there is 2 more, which are my longest romance novels. I absolutely love them. They're called Born to be Wild. Sorry, it's that one. There. And Opposites Attract. And because I like to laugh, there's a lot of funny stuff in there as well. So there's a few funny scenes and characters. And I had quite a giggle when I wrote them. So that was fun. But coming to the next point, I'm not only an author, I also write, well, not just of books, I write blogs as well. I do power animals, goddess meditations, meaning of tarot cards with meditational prompts. All of them have questions at the bottom for you to use for meditation and inner reflection as well. It's all about finding yourself and getting to know yourself better and having insights about yourself. All these things are archetypes that you can work with, and they relate to your own psyche. So that is the aim of those. And then we have Susanna, who writes once a week wonderful crystal blogs. I absolutely love them because I'm totally not a crystal expert, and she is so good with that. She even suddenly comes up with stones that she can't remember ever having read the meaning of or anything, but then she'll know when she talks to somebody and says, oh, you will need this one, because it does this and that for you. And she's very highly intuitive, and that's absolutely brilliant. So I love her blogs, and she also sells crystals. You can look her up and have a look at the blogs there in the feed as well, So, and of course, you can go to my website and explore, tirzaschaefer.com. I'm going to put those links in the comments later, okay? Then I've got services I offer, which is really is 4 categories. The first one is in no particular order. I offer online Reiki sessions. Reiki is a spiritual healing modality that happens with energy. Oh, hi, Layla. I can see you. I can see your comment. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So you can read more about that as well on my website, and also in the book that I've posted that you can download the PDF. All the details are in there, so I'm not going to go too much into that here. I do literary services like editing, proofreading, and I also do copywriting. That is quite fun sometimes. I have, with everything that I do, really, I have this angle. I infuse what I do with energy and Reiki as well. So even when I talk to someone, and I have a meaningful conversation, I might channel Reiki through my eyes or something, so they feel, the other people that I talk to, they feel like loved and in a safe space. And I like to create this atmosphere where people can be open and most of all authentic, and don't have any fear of judgment when they speak to me. Because that's not a nice feeling, is it? When you always think like, oh, I have to behave like this and I have to do this, just so somebody likes me. And that's not what real life is all about. It's about being yourself and truly expressing your essence, who you are. And, everybody has so many wonderful, special gifts, and everyone is so unique. So why would you want to be like anyone else? They're already taken, so be yourself. And so that kind of feeling I want to transport as well in all I do, and infuse everything I do, what I post as well, what I write. I infuse all that with energy. So you get the full blast and benefit of that one as well. I also channel through my voice. That means when I do voiceovers, not just in having a conversation or talking, when I do voiceovers or I do live events as well, I channel energy into that according to, well, first of all, generally high vibrational, but also the kind of emotions that I want to transport. When I do like at a live event and I do a guided meditation, I want people, some people feel very self-conscious when you're in a group. So I like to be able to create this safe space for everyone to really be able to go within and let themselves fall and, and just experience without any, any fears or any kind of feelings that are negative in any way. So yeah, that's same when I record. I've done also some recordings for house music producers, and they loved it. So that goes more on a sensual aspect, but it's high vibrational as well. And I can transport those feelings too. And now we come to my card readings. Well, mostly people choose cards. I do also offer, like, you can choose from different card decks, runes, or you can say you want straight channeled from power animals or guides or deities or whatever, It's basically, you can see that all on my website, and the links are all in the book. There are basically 3 types. I'm just going to explain it with cards because that's the most common one. The first one is See Beyond the Veil, which is 3 cards. And what I do, I first give you a general meaning of each card, and then I also give you a personalized channeled message, and everything is coming in a written in a PDF, because I like to go when I really go inside myself and channel that, I like to type it all up, but that also means that sometimes there'll be typos in there, or the sentence structure is not properly. So it's nice when you can actually afterwards go through it, edit everything, and you've got a document that you can print out if you like, or keep on your computer and refer back to any time you want again. Which I think, is more beneficial than when you're in a live session which is nice as well, of course, but then you might forget half of it, or might be a bit excited, and this later when you reflect back on it and you work with it again, that you can refer back to what is written and say, oh yeah, that triggers something. Or maybe sometimes you remember stuff from way back, and suddenly that triggers something. I've had things happen to me, really little things, but then 20 years later I suddenly remember, and it just was a light bulb moment for me then, so not kidding, 20 years. So it's good to have that in writing anyway. Me, I love writing. So the second reading that I offer is called Inner Journey, and it's with 6 cards. It's basically more or less the same. The details you can read as well in the book, and it depends really on what you're after as well. If you want to have a general guidance, what your life themes are at the moment, and or if you have specific questions, but I do lay emphasis on inner work. I'm not going to tell you, when you go outside tomorrow, take a brolly, because otherwise you get wet because it's going to rain. That's not the way I work. I tell you about your emotions, your energies, what kind of themes are at work, and beliefs, all these things, and what you can do, that also practical steps where applicable, obviously, practical steps, how you can, that you can take to alleviate any kind of challenges in your life, and turn them into wonderful events, and overcome everything, and as much as you can. Well, yeah. So I think I'll stop. Oh, hello, Finn. Hi, Holly. Oh, no. I can see the comments. I was so afraid I couldn't. It's nice to see you guys. Love you lots. And yeah, so I'm going to not call it a day, but stop here, and I'll be back shortly. And the first thing I am going to do is read from my book, the children's book, How Picasso Makes You a Genius. See you later. Mwah.